Hey, so this is a quick instructional guide on how to set up disengaging forward as a hunter. Use cases for this would primarily be the Lich King, most likely on hard mode. So when you get picked up by a Valkyr, hunters are able to disengage back onto the platform. So here's kind of what it looks like to start out with. So it's just already set up. I've already downloaded an add-on called Grounded. So what Grounded does is it allows you to set up a on-key press macro and an on-key release macro. So right now I have it set to a keybind of G. This is where G is on my... I guess I have cursor off so you can't really see, but that's okay. So I have it bound to G. So this is what it looks like in action. So I'm going to enter combat, so I'm able to do it. And then I hit G. Easy, right? So when I hold down G on press, this is what it looks like. So this is taking a pre-saved camera view of me facing my character. And then on release, it actually activates the disengage itself and then resets my original camera position. That's what it looks like in slow motion. So, how do we set all this up? So, like I said, you're going to want to download an add-on called Grounded. And then once Grounded is installed, you're going to want to type the following into your chat. Type console cameraViewBlendStyle 2. Make sure there's a space. And then you're going to hit enter, and then you're going to relog. Since I've already set it up, I'm not going to bother relogging. You don't need to see my massive list of inappropriately named characters. So, once we're back, you're going to want to set up a camera view of you facing your character. So, let's go ahead and face our character. You can get really specific with this with an additional macro to like exactly line your character up like 180 degrees from your original viewpoint. For this purpose, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to face my character roughly and get an idea of like what it looks like to face my character and save that camera view. So how do we save it? So we're going to type in the console run or /run SaveView. And then you can do 1 through 5. You can save 5 views. We're going to only need 2. So we're going to save this as SaveView 2. And we're going to hit enter. Okay, so now our view is saved. So next, we're going to open up what's called MovePad. And this is something that's just by default in World of Warcraft. Probably haven't seen it before, but you're going to go to your options, your interface, and then you can probably just do a quick search with the current UI. You go move, and then you'll see general here, and then show MovePad. So we can show it. It doesn't actually need to be shown, but for the purposes of this instructional guide, like this is actually what you're calling when you run the macro. So just so you're like, what the hell is MovePad? This is what it is. So it's like an in-game kind of little control pad that you can use to control your character. And you're actually calling like these commands here. Once all done, you can turn off showing MovePad. It doesn't matter. So next step is we're going to open Grounded. So I usually just type /grounded. And then we see we've already built Disengage here. But we're going to go in here and we're going to create a new one. Just so we can see the process. So we're going to open up our spellbook. And then we're going to grab Disengage. We're going to drag it on top. You'll say, okay, here's Disengage. Now what do we want to bind that to? So you can bind it to any key you want. I'll pick F just for this case. Okay. Overwrite my stuff. Yeah, whatever, that's fine. And then I'm going to edit binds. Now you see in grounded, you have when bind is pressed, you have a macro here. When bind is released, you have a second part of the macro here. So in the first part, I'm going to take this macro. I'm going to delete this out. I want to paste this in, and don't worry, I'll include this in the comments on the YouTube video, so you can just grab it and copy paste it into your own macro. So, but I'll explain quickly what it does. So this is going to turn off your mouse look. It's going to run SaveView on your current position. So this is where your camera is currently facing. Next, it's going to call that already saved view that we saved. So that would be the one facing our character. And it's going to set that as our current view. So it's going to flip us around. And then it's going to run mouse look, turn it back on, and then it's going to click MovePadBackward. So basically it's calling that little console that I showed you for MovePad. And what that does is it's going to force your character to turn. So it's the same as if you're like wiggling your mouse while you're turning, or if your character gets repositioned, or you flip the camera and then all of a sudden you wiggle your mouse with right click held down, it flips your character. So that's what happens when the key is pressed. Second part, on key release, we're going to add this macro. And again, I'll include this all in the notes section in the YouTube video. This one actually casts the disengage. It clicks the move pad again to reposition your character, or to force your character to face a certain direction. It's going to turn mouse look back on. It's going to run the previously set view when you press the key. So that was your original position. And then it's going to turn mouse look off. So that'll put you back to where you were facing originally. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to save this. And now you don't actually have to bind this on your bar. These will just be called automatically. So let's test it out. And I'm going to hide MovePad because that's unseemly. Go ahead and hide that. So let's go ahead. So I'm going to hit F to make sure that on key press works. Okay, looks good. We're walking backwards in the direction that we want to go. And on release, it's going to flip us back. Obviously, we're not in combat, so it's not going to call disengage when I release the key. But let's go ahead and enter combat. And I'm going to tap F. Perfect. Looks good. And now because of the way this is set up, if you're picked up by the Valkyr, you can pretty much spam this, right? Because it's not going to call your disengage right away. But even though, like, obviously my save views aren't perfect, but don't spam it too much. But if you get picked up by the Valkyr, you can probably like wait till you're released and then hit it a couple times. Bam. So that is how you set up a forward disengage. If you want to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, whatever, I don't care. Otherwise, if you have any questions, reach out to me in Guild or comment on the video. All right, thanks.